Watch your local news with Kyra Davis on WBKB 11.
On Saturday, February 17th, the Tim T. Barra Memorial Plunge occurred at the Sandbar and Grill.
From WBKB News and from Florida, Kyra Davis. Oh, just go, Kyra. Come on, go.
So as you can see by the introduction clip, this is the first and only star that we have in the family. So welcome, Kyra Davis, to the channel. Thank you for your time, girl.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
No problem. So I know you've been doing the news anchor and reporter for about 5 years or so. So kind of as a kid, I know for me anyway, growing up, that never popped into my head. So when did you kind of have that dream to become an anchor? And then what were kind of the educational steps that you had to take to fulfill that dream?
Well, actually, when I was younger, I always imagined myself being on TV doing either movies or television shows. And obviously that wasn't happening at the time. So pretty much I just kind of like was tired of the jobs I was getting and like working like at Chick-fil-A and the other step falls. I was like, you know what? And then once I actually worked at the FBI for about a few months. And after that experience, I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. My dad actually inspired me because he was telling me to apply for news jobs. I was like, no. But after the FBI job, I was just like, yes. I went on a whim, went on Indeed, I applied, and I just happened to get it. And I have a background as a theater kid too. I majored in theater and psychology, so that's pretty much the balance that got me there. I have the personality for it.
Okay, all right. That's quite a wild job of events. You know, you went from Chick-fil-A to FBI to news anchor. So yeah, that's quite a journey. But I'm glad to call you my little cuz, because you know you got
Thank
FBI
you.
connection, you know, that's good. So I wanted to ask you too, kind of when you kind of were still kind of figuring out going from job to job, you still didn't have a career. What were kind of some of the pitfalls? I guess the encouragement you kind of spoke to your dad, you know, talking some, you know, some advice into you and you taking that advice. What were some other things that kind of propelled you into your current career?
I think it was just kind of like I wanted to do something that I was good at because I'm the probably one of the most non-serious people to exist. So I wanted a job where I just didn't have to sit at a desk and just be like typing and stuff. So I was like, I need to go out and bring my personality to what I'm doing. And if I'm not having fun, then I can't be working.
Okay, well, that makes sense. You definitely get to show your personality on TV and get paid to do
Absolutely.
it. So I guess my final question would be, what would be kind of one piece of advice for people that are kind of, you know, maybe already in a good, I guess, groove when it comes to work, they're paying their bills, but they might not be happy with their career. So what would be an advice to go chase your dreams, go out on that whim and pursue something that you maybe never thought you could do?
I think always be as authentic to yourself as possible. You know, even if you don't think you can do it, you actually can. I didn't expect to ever be on TV doing the news, and here I am today. And basically, if you're not happy, go find something else and keep applying, and don't give up on it. Especially if you're into doing the news business like I am, what I would recommend is starting at the lowest market possible, applying for the low market jobs, and then just working your way up to the hierarchy of markets. And eventually, I think you can reach the top market.
Okay, all right. Well, that's pretty good advice, you know, and I like it. You kind of incremental steps, don't shoot for the stars, kind of work your way up the chain, but you got to be consistent and persistent. So thank you for the info. I know you're busy, so thank you for your couple minutes of your time. You know, you are, like I said, the star of the family. You know, you're on TV on a regular, so I
So
appreciate
I would
it.
just say that one of the hardest things of being a news anchor would probably be holding in laughter at inappropriate moments because everything's just pretty funny. And I would also just kind of say like when people die, it's kind of like, okay, it's sad.
Well, there you have it. Howard Davis in the flesh. Thank you for pulling up, cuz, and I will see you soon.